And 3, 2, 1, let's grok. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Method to Madness podcast. It is your host, Sean Rampersad, over here. I am here with Rae Gallimore, who has been a great violist and comedian, and I just wanted to see and get to know her better as a comedian.
As a comedian.
And as a person.
Hello, everyone. Excited to be here, I guess.
She's just like, nah, I got taken to the strange man's basement, who I'm just gonna freaking talk about comedy like freaking two incels that have nothing better to do. Okay, look, incel, femcel, but let me just get this first off from the start. You can follow her at Rae Bakes.
Yeah, Rae Bakes with 2 S's. Because Rae Bake was already taken. Which was funny.
So someone beat you to the punch.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if you do get big, you can sue for copyright infringement.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so it's really important, the double S.
Yes.
Double S. And actually, I think I did it because I originally started my account for Twitch because I was streaming and doing baking. Mm-hmm. I think it was the Twitch that didn't have the username I wanted, so I had to also do on Instagram. But now I'm never on Twitch, so yeah, Rae Bakes.
And you stopped Twitch because you got really busy, I heard?
Yeah, I feel like it was also a COVID thing, so it was me in my basement apartment, doing it, and I made friends, and I decided that being outside was better than being in the basement with online friends, even though that's kind of what we're doing right now, but...
No, we're in person in a basement.
Yes, it's true.
This is different.
It's very different, yeah.
And you're down here willing.
Yeah, I tried streaming with people, so they would come over, and that was fun. So I had a couple people over, and we did Christmas baking in December, and then I tried to continue it and do a Valentine's Day thing, but then I just because we were talking about this before we started, but you have to kind of tear down your whole place to set up for the stream, and then you have to tear it down, and it's just a lot of effort.
Exactly, because what you guys don't see prior to this is that me and prior to all this, this whole place was a disaster. I was talking to Rae last night. I was like, oh good God, I have to clean up my apartment. I have to it smells nice now.
It does. It smells what I guess the lemon fresh or something.
Yeah, because I Lysoled the floor, the shit out of the floor. I mopped, I cleaned, I did everything. I'm the washroom's clean now. I'm fuck. This is probably the cleanest I've ever seen a guy's apartment. I'm I do this for everyone, but when I got back from Vegas, I just said F everything and just went, fuck it, I'm just gonna throw everything away and do all that other stuff. But might as well get into this as well. I have a Streamlabs in below. 100% of the proceeds goes to the podcast and helps me with production, helps me actually hire people to do this instead of doing it all by myself. As we've seen, was really, really hard. I work in healthcare. I do not work in telecommunications. But let's just start this with you. So why did you start stand-up comedy?
Well, I guess I moved to Toronto to start sketch. Mm-hmm. So I was hoping that would be sort of the route that I took, but it ended up being a lot of effort to go to classes and meet people through classes. Mm-hmm. And so I decided I was just going to try stand-up, and it seemed like a fun community of people, and just to meet people, meet comedians, meet like-minded people. I actually, if you had told me that I was going to be doing stand-up 2 years ago, I would have been no way. So did you just kind of fall into it? Is it just or did you saw and just let me try it out? So I used to live really close to Salto restaurant. Mm-hmm. Shout out. Their meatball sandwiches are phenomenal.
Their chicken mushroom sandwich is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
I love it.
Very good food.
Yeah.
I go there often.
Okay.
But they had their open mic, and I would walk by it every day. Mm-hmm. And I sat probably for about a month. I would go and just on Tuesdays and watch the mic. And then one day I was I'm just going to try it. Mm-hmm. And because I saw a lot of people fail, and I was oh, it's actually probably not that hard.
Oh my God, you have the Like, I remember there's this one guy that went to the lab. He said the exact same thing as you, and no one was laughing at his stuff, and he's like, oh, this is harder than it looks.
Yeah. So the first set I did was actually, like, good. Like, I felt, like, pretty good about it. I had some laughs, and then I was like, oh, sweet, great. And then the second one I tried, and I was like, I tried something completely different, because I didn't know you're supposed to, like, repeat your jokes often, and, like, I didn't know anything about stand-up when I started. Okay. And I still don't really know much about it. I just like doing it. But so I would, the second time I did it was just horrific. And I was like, why did I do this? But, and then I kind of took a break, and I've always, would go back once in a while to Salto because I live really close. And then one week I was just like, I'm going to do it every day this week. And if I like it, if I want to like work at it, then I'll keep doing it. And that's what happened.
And as you said, like-minded people, I'd say like comedians in general are the most diverse group of people that you're ever going to frickin' meet in your life.
Yeah, but I feel like we all have like the same want to like
get big,
or just like make jokes like
exactly.
That, like be able to like write something or be someone on stage that people will listen to. And
exactly.
Like,
what was it like? It's like, when I mean diversity in thought, because we all don't think the same.
For sure, yeah.
Because I'm like, and that's, to me, the true diversity, because like you get different points of view, different lenses of thought, and you all learn from each other, too. And I really love that, because like, what was it, like, we've shot the shit at many a mic, and just said like the most, like, stupid-ass crap to each other.
Sure.
And like, I love those conversations that I can have with anyone there. Because it's just hilarious. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, for example, shout out to Kaya. I'm pretty sure you've had, like, some really stupid-ass conversations with her, like, at the mics, and just, like, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, and you find your people in a lot of ways. Like, especially as an adult, like, it's so hard to make friends, if you're not in school, or, like, I don't, like, as a musician, it's really, like, we're so busy, so it's hard to, like, have friendships with musicians as well. Because we're always doing different things and doing all over the city. So, like every night you're like, I'm going to see the same people, and you can like pick who you like and pick who you're cordial with. And then, I don't know. I really enjoy it.
So your first set was at Salto. As this is me coming from a lens of hearing every girl talk about doing the mic there. You got some balls.
I didn't know. I thought this was like normal, Mike.
It isn't.
It isn't normal. I actually no. The first or second one I went to go watch, like a comedian like walked some audience members, and I was just like, oh, that's normal for saying some crazy shit. But
it's not like, because like a lot of people just don't like. I like going there because I'm fine going anywhere, because I'm like, there have been places where like I literally felt like, why am I here? I'm not going to name names, but I literally thought I was going to get stabbed, but I did it anyways. Like, that's just how I walk through life. It's just like, I want this that bad, so I'm just going to do it. And I can understand the apprehension that men, women, or it doesn't matter who you are, have about going into places where they don't want to hear what they want to hear, what's going to be said. And I'm just like, but that means that, like, I'm sitting to one of those bravest women I've ever seen in my life then, if this is the case.
To be fair, I don't go there often anymore, because, I've found a better space to go to on those nights. But, I don't know. I like, for example, like, the first one I went to, like, Hannah Veltun was there, Alex DeWitt, like, some like really cool people, and I was like, oh. And then there was the people that, like, you never see again, and they say the most horrendous things, and then, hopefully after 2 months of it, they, like, realize that they don't have anything to say.
Because those are the type of people that think comedy is saying the most outlandish thing.
Sure,
and getting shock reaction, but, like, the thing is, like, the reason that, like, Patrice O'Neill, Bill Burr, or, like, even Dave Chappelle can say it is because there's a setup to it.
Yeah, totally.
There's a purpose to what's being said, whereas if you're just saying it for the sake of saying it, then what the hell's the point?
Yeah, and I think when I started, I thought that's what comedy was, and then I realized, like, over a year or so, it's like, oh no, that's not it, and like
because it's a story. Like I call it like a roller coaster. You're building up to something, and then you get the drop. Because if you just go, as I said, everyone, if you just go for the drop right at the beginning, what's the point of the ride?
Yeah, there's no. You're just saying something ridiculous.
Just for the sake of saying something ridiculous. I'm like, that's why I like that comedy that makes you think.
Yeah.
That's the reason, like, because like there is a whole song and there's a whole dance to it all, and there's an art behind it, and there's a setup to it, opposed to just being like, hey, you know those people over there. I'm like, what the hell are you saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and let me go to the next one. Okay, so you started, like, when exactly did you start again? Like, a year ago, you said?
I guess my first mic was November of 2022. So what year is it? 23?
2022.
Yeah, it's last year.
Yeah.
But no, 21.
21?
Would have been 21. And then I, like, sort of was in and out for, like, 6 months. And then as of, like, end of May, it's been a year that I've been, like, trying harder, going most nights and stuff like that.
Okay, so. Most nights. Like, how many times a week would you say you go?
Probably, like, 3.
Oh, it's practically the same
3
thing
to 5,
as
yeah. Yeah.
3 to 5. Holy crap, you're doing more than I am.
But you know, those are like the best weeks where you go every night and like.
Okay.
But and I honestly, last night was the first time I did a set in like a month. So. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That's the first set I did back since getting back to Toronto. Like, because I was just like, when I got back, like, I hate to talk about myself, but like I think it's a good learning opportunity for everyone that. Stand-up comedy isn't just doing open mics. You have to do your networking.
Sure.
You have to talk to people. Excuse me. You have to get to know them. Because I was talking to Vong, I was talking to Liam Kelly, I was talking to a friend Miguel, and they said, dude, you have to network. You're not networking. That's your biggest problem. You have material. Fucking get out there and get your name out there. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I'm just like, they said that to me, like, everyone just started saying that, I'm like, okay, fine, fuck it, I gotta do it. So, like, I just put the open mics on the side because I was just like, okay, I gotta keep trying, but at the same time, it's the same thing for you. That's like, I always have to tell people, you have to start networking, because, like, you are funny. I've seen you do your stuff, like that freaking violin bit, and no one laughed but me, because I freaking got it, because I'm like, oh my god, that hits deep. And there were other musicians in the freaking audience. Oh good god, that's like deep freaking cut. That made me laugh. I was just like, because I understand the pain. Because like the only way you can get like gigs is by playing licensed music that's not freaking your own. Whereas like in stand-up comedy, you have to exclusively play things that are not your own, that are only your own. Because if you take someone else's ideas, everyone just calls you a hack. Yeah. And it's the only art form I think that, besides painting, does that. Yeah. If you take someone else's idea, they go like, no, that's fucking wrong. But if you do that in stand-up comedy, you get freaking crucified. Yeah. You get sent out to the wolves. But like, what else? So like, how did you start incorporating your violin into your sets?
I guess I'd always wanted to kind of, and I guess I saw. Well, actually, I guess I really wanted to go up at the Bucket Show on Tuesday nights at Comedy Bar. So it was a great way to get on the variety act. It's just essentially say your jokes, but you have an instrument, so you can get up. You're so That's the most genius thing I've ever heard. And honestly, people have caught on now, so it's actually harder to get on the variety. Okay, now. But yeah, for a while it was like I knew I could just like guarantee a spot because there was only like 3 variety, and now people are like, oh, like if I just do the same shit but like bring a melodica or something recorded, like so like originally I was like I'm gonna do, and I always thought I wanted to and then there's actually this really amazing comedian in New York called Isabel Hagen, and she is a viola player also from like she went to school, like we went to Juilliard together, but we never overlapped, and and she's a comedian now, and she does that. She like will play and then say.
Is it a guitar? Or is it what she
viola, violin, viola,
the viola.
So she'll do that, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's a great idea. But my idea is like I want to like sort of share what I have learned already. So like I like playing like for example, J.S. Bach, who wrote all these like solo pieces for like strings. So there's a whole book of them, and I've learned most of them. And so you take your first page of one, and then you figure out where it's sort of like the phrase ends, and so you play. You know, end your phrase, and then you say something absolutely ridiculous, and then you keep playing. So eventually, after 5 minutes or 4 minutes set, you've heard almost a full piece. So eventually, I want to actually like do a whole, like, you know, you incorporate the entire piece into your set. So you're hearing a whole Bach piece, which is like very nerdy, but I think in the end it could be very effective.
You take what you're passionate about and you incorporate it into your sets, which is what you're passionate about the violin.
Yeah.
I'd say. But like, who's the person you said that does it in New York again?
Isabel Hagen.
Isabel Hagen. What does she exactly do? Because I'm not familiar with her.
It's essentially the same thing. Like, because I mean, a lot of musical comics do that. Like they'll, like I think his name is Dimitri Martin. Also does it. So he has a guitar, and so they'll just play like a snippet of something and then say like a one-liner joke, and then we'll play something again, and then just go back to joke, music, and then eventually I think with her like longer set she'll like put her instrument down and just like do stand-up.
Okay.
Yeah. So she was on Fallon. So there's like.
And you went to school with her.
We didn't overlap, but we had the same teacher, and like I think we're like 1 or 2 years apart. Yeah.
Well, that's still great. Like,
she's really cool.
And I'm guessing, how long ago was that when you went to the same school with her?
I don't know. She must have graduated in 2018 or 17 or something.
And she's already on Fallon.
Yeah, she's been doing stand up for like a while.
Oh, even prior to that, I'm guessing, or
yeah, I think so. Because we went to school in New York. So, and she's from there, I think. So.
Oh, you went to New York?
Yeah, I lived there for 2 years.
Oh. I'm learning about this right now. You can see, everyone, this is the key professionalism. I don't know nothing about my guests.
Did read my bio on my website?
I don't stalk you.
It's on the link tree.
I know, it's on the link tree. Follow her link tree, and you can stalk her yourselves, not me. I'm too much of a gentleman to do that. But what exactly, like, speaking of the violin and like doing the stand-up and all that, what exactly inspires your jokes and your writing of those jokes? For example, me, it's like how I see the world. Like, how to explain this? Like, I talk about this all the time. Like, I talk about like how rap inspired me, how other stand-up comedians inspired me, and philosophy. But what about you? What inspires your realm of thinking?
I guess it's more like observational, I guess. So like things I notice about my friends or people I see around me. And then, I mean, when I was first starting out, like everyone does, I did a lot of like dating material and stuff like that. Just like, you know, thinking of my past, like, oh, why did I do that? You know, and then, you know, you tweak it and make better. And then, yeah, so just, I guess, from personal stories, I guess, and, yeah, random things I see.
Being like hindsight's 20/20. And you can look back at it and like kind of laugh at it.
Yeah.
It's because the thing is about like dating jokes is that it's very universal. Excuse me. Everyone can sort of relate to it, so it's a very easy avenue to go down around. Because like even I have some dating jokes. Like I'll just say it right here. Like my Tinder date had daddy issues joke. I don't know if you've heard that one. Right.
I feel like I haven't been on for like a month, but I feel like I haven't seen you in a while.
You haven't seen me in a while because like I've just been running around.
Yeah, then you left for a bit too.
Yeah, I left for a bit. Then I had to like then I was like getting booked in Niagara and all this other stuff. Like it's a gigantic thing, but like the Tinder date has daddy issues. I talk about that one, and that's like my dating experience. But I don't like. But like it's like everyone like kind of, but you have to try and find a way to make it your own because everyone has those horrible. Totally. Everyone has those horrible like Tinder stories, and the fact that it's coming from a guy's angle is even weirder. Like that's the reason. So like where do you think that like you would want your comedy to actually go from beyond where you are right now? Or you haven't thought that far ahead, I'm guessing.
Probably, yeah, I haven't really thought about that, but I like being like just like with a female voice, you know, like my side of things, and maybe that's too vague, but just like, but you know, I think it's important to, yeah, like I don't know, yeah, just like funny female voice, I think.
Funny female voice?
Yeah, of just like going through the world as who I am, and like what I see and how I see the world. And no like political message or anything like that.
No political message or anything like that?
No, just kind of like, yeah, stupid shit.
So you want to be a female Tom Segura, I see. It's basically, okay, this is how I fall in the world, and this is what happened here.
Yeah, almost weird. Yeah. Like I love absurd comedy, like, yeah.
Absurdist humor, if there's any person that I can recommend, there's two actually. Absurd comedy is Eric Andre.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, and if you... Okay, everyone, I'm going to go into deep YouTube lore right now. Filthy Frank.
Okay, no, I don't know that. Okay, Filthy Frank, I'll look it up.
You're going to be like, Sean, what the fuck is this? Trust me, it is like, if you sit down there and think about it, the guy is so fucking insane, it's genius. He's up there with Eric Andre, I'd say. Like, but it's like,
nice.
It takes a stomach and it takes a iron will to watch some of those videos. Trust me. And like, what is it? And speaking of like how like you want to take your comedy and all that, because like we all got inspired by someone one way or another. Like for me, it was Dave Chappelle, Russell Peters. If I even go to my rap side, it was Tupac, NWA, and Eminem. Is there anyone that like inspired you to do the violin, to do the stand-up comedy that you look up to that says like I want to try and emulate what they're doing?
I guess with violin, I was pretty late in like I always played growing up, but I was pretty late in like actually bunkering down and practicing and getting good and working on things and knowing how to practice and do that. So honestly, just like being surrounded, I'm so inspired by like people around me, which sounds really corny, but like especially in my music, when I was like 16, I was able to like become friends with people that were my age but were like, you know, just like miles ahead of me, and like it really made me like look up to them in a lot of ways. If I'm gonna pick someone that like I look up to, I guess I studied with this woman named Martha Katz, and she is she was the founding member of the Cleveland String Quartet, and she's like one of the sort of female powerhouses in viola playing, in quartet playing, and like their recordings of the Brahms string quartets are like fucking amazing. So I listen to those on repeat and just like think about that. And then I guess with comedy, when I knew I wasn't meant to destined to just be a musician, because I was in practice rooms just like watching SNL like for hours, and just like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Are just like definitely my writing idols.
I love those girls. They're so freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Because like I love Parks and Recreation. I love
30 Rock though.
30 Rock.
Yeah.
30 Rock. I have to get back into. I watched a bit of it, but I fell out because I was just like watching other stuff.
That's actually pretty absurd. Like there's some like ridiculous plot lines that come out.
There is. You're not wrong. I did love it, but it's just like I was like enamored with other stuff at the time that it just like it's, for example, like I'm watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, great show. Great show.
We all, like, every time, like, that is stand-up comedy as a sitcom.
Honestly, I watched a lot of that, too.
But I had to pull back from it because I'm just like, okay, it's one of those times that it just starts to get too much, you know what I mean? You're like, I have to, like, just, like, do other stuff. It wasn't like that with 30 Rock. 30 Rock, I forgot what else was going on at the time that it made me stop watching it. But it was nothing bad. Like, it wasn't the quality. It was just something else. I don't remember what it was. All I remember is that I really liked it. and then I just went, okay, let me just. There's other thing came up.
I love like It's Always Sunny is always it's based off like really horrible people, obviously, but because like sometimes if you watch too much, or like when I was watching the Trailer Park Boys, I started like thinking like them, and I was like, no, I can't do that, you know. Or like one of my favorite books is Catcher in the Rye, and it's like he's like this like angsty 16-year-old, and so you start like thinking like that, or I don't know, and like Clockwork Orange too is a crazy book.
Whoa!
And like you just like you're like whoa, like you start like goddamn, you know, and you start talking like that, and you're like, wait, what's happening?
You know, the whole British Cockney accent.
Yeah, you're like, what's happening?
Yeah, let me go beat up this person with a cane.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? Who was the person that played it in the movie?
Oh, I don't know, but that was a freaky movie.
No, it was like Malcolm McDowell, I think it was. Okay. I'm trying. Like, that's the thing about me, right? I'm like, I'll go like this, and I'm like, there it is. There it is. So like,
yeah.
What else? So like, but outside of any of those inspirations, because like you have your viola, you have what are your stand up like with Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. Is there like anyone outside of like that, like who would inspire you to, like with a work ethic? For example, like me, like a guy who inspires me all the time is Fred Rogers. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Like he does.
Oh, like okay.
Like the guy was like the nicest dude, and like he just believed in loving kindness. I'm like, I can't like not love this man. Okay, so is there anyone like that would say like you could say like even like your grandparents or whatever?
I mean, again, I think just like my friends, like I saw like because I was kind of like 3 years behind them, and like feeling in just like progress, and they went off to these like big schools in the US, and like I was like, oh, like I could do that too if like they can do it, and like we're from the same place, we're doing the same thing, I just need to work a little harder. So like I feel like I'm so lucky to be surrounded by like people that have like a really hard work ethic. Yeah, totally. I think it's like just being able, like the schools I went to, I was able to work with like really cool teachers, and just like they have, I already talked about Martha, and she was really cool. And then another teacher of mine, Misha, he was my teacher at my master's, and just like another great, like such a nice person. They're both such nice people, but like you're like this amazing musician that like how did like what are you doing that like I can get from you that like so I can be. How
could you learn from them?
Yeah, you learn from them, and like I guess with music school you it's one of the only things, probably one of the only school, like you go to school where you have like one-on-one, so like every week you have like a one-on-one lesson with this, because you get to know them pretty well, and they get to know you pretty well as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't know, I am not the most musically inclined person on the planet. Like I think I could like screw up the triangle if I tried. If I didn't try. But let's just see what else is there. What, like, I'm sorry, like, I have my notes and everything, It's been a while, so, like, it's just, like, I have bullet points on, like, how to do this whole thing. What, like, so you said you started at Salto, but what made you say you had to go up there and do it, exactly?
Oh, man, I don't know. I just, I guess I'm one of these people that will just, like, if I put my mind to something, I'll do it, like I said, if I actually, for the longest time, I was like, I hate stand-up. Stand-up is dumb. And, I was like, I'm not into it. And then I was kind of just like, oh, this could be fun. Like, I'll try it. And I just did it. And like, I love performing. So it was just another outlet to perform with, I think. It's just,
you just like being on stage?
Yeah, I like being on stage. And, Yeah, people have to listen to you.
You know, like, I have the microphone now. Yeah. Shut up, bitch.
People don't always listen to you, but
oh yeah, like
try and make them listen to you.
You have no idea. You guys left the lab at like what, like 11 or something?
11:30, yeah.
11:30. I went on stage at 1:30 in the morning. Everyone's drunk off their ass. No one's listening to me. The microphone's like blown out. Yeah. And I'm just like, everyone's just like, why are you going up there? I'm like, because this is how champions are made.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just like, and lo and behold, it actually worked out in the end. So like, that's the thing. Like, sometimes you just gotta try, and like, I'm glad that you tried, because if you didn't try it, I wouldn't have met you.
Yeah.
So it's nice to actually like we first met at what's it called, Groove Bar, I believe.
Oh yeah.
It was the when Brandon Zakai was running the mic there, and he did the book show.
Yeah.
And you were on there.
Yeah.
That was the first time we met, and I'm just like, and then you messaged me out of the blue and said, "Hey man, I'm on the same show as you." Like, it was a group chat.
Oh.
It was in the group chat, and I'm just like, and then you ran up to me and said, "Talk to me," and like I was like, "Who?" And she.
I don't remember that. I have a really bad memory when it comes to people.
I have a weird ass eidetic memory, because I can remember like everything you could talk to me about last night, like not fine details, but exactly what I did. I can remember what I did.
Nice.
Yeah, so like,
nice.
It's not great.
I mean, I don't know. It's better than like forgetting really stupid details. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but like that was the day I met you, and you did really great that night. But like, as you said, like people not listening to you, even if you have the mic, Groove Bar is notorious for that. You go up there and like no one's paying attention. You're just going up there and just winging your stuff and doing your best. But like, it's one of those things that even if one person laughs in that room, you know that joke's gonna kill.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you have to, that always goes on there. As I said, and this piggybacking off of another question that I had. Well, we're really like freaking burned into all this stuff. We have like 30 minutes left, and like you already like exhausted most of my questions. Like this thing, this piggyback off something else. Like you said, like because I want to I want to help you find your voice in comedy, as well as I want to help myself find my voice. I already kind of sort of know where I want my voice to go. Like it's that one voice that you have that even when you're not trying to be funny, you're still funny. If you know what I mean, right?
Okay, yeah.
You're like, you know when you're arguing with someone and then they just start laughing because you know what, you're right, and they can't help but get they can't even get angry, they can only just laugh at it.
Sure.
That's kind of like, that's basically what happened to me at work. It's just basically like, how the hell do you not understand this? It's so simple. Like my coworker was going on about, she just got married.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to do the laundry. I don't know how to like do all this other stuff. I'm like, how did you skip all these life skills and just go straight onto that one?
Yeah.
But like, it's like, what would you want your comedy to say? Because like you said, you wanted to come as a lens of a woman just meandering this whole world and being absurd about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
just being the quirky girl next door, I think, is the. Yeah, like Zooey Deschanel or something. Like I don't really think she's that. It was funny. I enjoyed New Girl, but just kind of like.
Comedy's subjective, so don't worry. Like everyone, it's an art form that is very it deals with perception, observation, and interpretation. So like how, like for example, like what Chris Rock says on stage could mean something completely different to you and something completely different to me. Mm-hmm. So like if you say you like New Girl and like someone said, oh shit, I'm like, but you got something different out of that than they did. Yeah. That's the whole thing. So like you just want to like, I mean like the overall messaging of what you want to say, like your perception, your observation, and your interpretation, like what do you want that to say? Like is there something that has like, think about to the times that you were like trying to make someone see your point of view and they were like, they understood what you were talking about. Like that's what I mean. Like, do you have any like times you ever thought about that? Because this is like, how to find your voice is one of the hardest things you can do in comedy. Because like there are people who've been doing this for 5+ years, still don't have it. Yeah.
I think a lot of, I like to like make fun of myself too, so
self-deprecation.
Yeah, but like in a way that like you know, you think about the time where you were called out on something or something went wrong, or like, you know, you think about your childhood and you're like, oh, I was why did I do that? And then you kind of like go back and think about it, and then, you know, write a joke about it or something. Just like knowing that you were wrong, I guess. Just like admitting to the world that you're not perfect, and
so self-response.
Or like responsible, like like I have some instances that like I want to write jokes about in my life that like were like low points, but I want to be able to like think about them and process them through writing and through jokes, and like for example, I'm doing a little plug here.
Go for it.
I'm writing a web series about music school, and like we're filming in September our first episode. It's a musical. It's gonna be sick.
Well, that's cool.
Pardon?
That's cool.
Yeah, and so like just like through the pandemic and quite a while, probably like 5 years now, I've been thinking about it. And when I was in my parents' house, just like, you know, quite sad. The pandemic was happening, and I was living in New York, and then the world shut down, and I had to go back home where nothing was happening. I just completed my master's, and like I was like, oh, like this is the time when I should write it, but it took me so much effort to like even think about it, and like, but when I finally sat down and like wrote an episode and wrote music about something that like I went through and like I'm still processing, and like it was like very, and like, but also like made a joked about it, and like and but also like picking things out that like I wanted to talk about with my experience in school. Now I can like share that in a different form, rather than just like always being like, oh, that was like the worst part of my life, like music school was so hard, like, oh, like why didn't all my musical dreams like not come true? It's like, oh no, let's like accept what happened in the 7 years of school, and then, you know, move on, and like be happy that, like, for example, I'm a full-time musician now. It's like, sweet, I don't have to work a random restaurant job to survive, you know, like I can just fully commit myself to music, and like I'm able to do other things that I want to do. I'm not necessarily like a shining star soloist, you know, top 1%, you know, musician, you know, Yasha Heifetz prodigy, you know. And I knew I was never gonna really be that, but like I had dreams of other things that like just are never gonna come true. But I'm okay with it now, because I'm doing this other thing that I'm passionate about something that like that I went through. And so yeah, we're filming the first episode in September, and then I'm hoping to do about 4 more episodes of like just sort of different, almost like what's the word?
Web series or?
Well, no, just like, because there's like very specific things like that are like if you go to music school, like everyone goes through it. Like,
if you want to make it relatable to the,
but I also want to make it relatable to people that haven't gone to school for music.
Yo, like I'm completely lost, and like because I'm like, is it like normal school, or is it like
no, not at all.
Okay.
Like one of my electives was like music theory. Like that's like the hardest course is to get through, and then I did like a whole, like, you know, 7 semesters of piano, and then I did like solfege. I have to learn. I can sing in like, you know, do re mi fa sol la si do and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, you learn that. Like
sight read, and like I get credits for playing chamber music, like in string quartet and like orchestra.
Chamber music.
Yeah, like chamber music is like small ensemble. So like an orchestra is like the big orchestra on stage, and then chamber music is like when there's like 4 musicians. And then
I thought you would like talk about like someone in a dungeon.
No.
Like, what the hell? Like,
no.
It's like freaking those torture scenes in movies. It's just like you're just in that string quartet in the corner. I was like, what the hell is like? If people think it's torture to your music, what the hell is this? But like, can you spoil the name of this series or?
Oh yeah, it's called Viola, the musical web series.
Is it going to be on YouTube?
Probably, or maybe another streaming service. I'm not sure.
Do you guys have like a backing? Like they actually put on like another streaming service or what?
No. We're currently raising money right now. So we're trying to raise like $3,000 for our costs and stuff like that. Yeah, because we want to do like a pre-screen somewhere, but yeah, probably YouTube in the end. I don't know any other worldwide streaming sites that we could use.
Vimeo.
Dailymotion. That's very old school, isn't it?
It is. That's the reason why I bring it up. Throw it up on there on freaking E-Bombs World.
Yeah, short film, indie film platform. Yeah. I don't know. We have, that's a couple months away. So.
No worries. September is next month.
Well, like after we edit it and stuff like that.
Okay. The filming starts in September.
Yeah.
But the actual putting it if I'm gonna put a timetable to this, I'd say probably February next year.
Okay.
That'd be like the earliest, I'd say, because like you have to do the lighting. Sometimes things don't record properly, so if you do voiceover.
Yeah.
So there's all this other stuff. So just everything that can go wrong will go wrong. You have to deal with Murphy's Law. So as we were key in point, we were here. This was to start at 3. We were here for literally 45 minutes trying to get audio correct, and she was fine. But no, the host has to be here going a microphone the whole time. That's something anything can go wrong.
Yeah.
What else? Do you where do you see yourself going in stand-up comedy? Would you want to get that recorded special put on YouTube of what you're doing?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a special would be sweet. I'd love to do some little mini tours soon. That would be fun. Just in Ontario, or I'm from BC, so I was thinking next summer I could do a little BC tour or something like that. Bring some of my, bring some people I don't know who, or even just contact people that are in BC. You can do that. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Really nice, actually. I don't know how the comedy scene is in BC, but I think you're doing something completely different from everyone else. So it sets you apart so much so. And then when everyone says the word special, they usually think these hour and a half long things. It doesn't have to be that long. So I've seen specials that 15 minutes long.
Yeah. I'd say I'm still pretty new with comedy. My longest set has been 12 minutes so far, which is still quite a bit of time.
It is.
So I would say, yeah, a goal would be a solid 15 or 20.
Solid 15 recorded.
20, yeah.
Yeah, and
cool.
that's as I said to everyone, you have to learn to walk before you can run.
Sure.
Because everyone's just. I remember when I first started, I was only they give you 5 minutes. I was only doing 2, 3.
Yeah.
Because I'm just I have to get the nuances down. I have to get out of my shell, and the same thing is just when I see the specials. Will I want to do that hour-long special one day? Absolutely. But I have to be realistic and start off small. I might just as I said to everyone, I will probably do a 15-minute one on YouTube, and that will be much down the road when I actually get actual freaking equipment and people actually want to actually videotape it and then get all this stuff put together. But what else? This isn't about me. Good. Thank you.
Yeah, I think because I'm such there's some comics that are so into comedy.
Yeah.
I like comedy because I like it, but I'm not
in love with it.
I'm not into comedy.
Yeah.
I can't name the best comics in the world right now.
You have no idea. You're not the only one that can do that.
Yeah.
Everyone's just oh, I just fell into it. Ken Lee Koo?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just fell into it.
Yeah.
She didn't try to get into this. She's just oh, I would want to do it. She can't name a freaking comic to save her life.
No, me either.
And then there's because what was it most of the guys these are people we idolize and all that other stuff. So it's kind of like that. Would you ever like go back to New York and try doing this stuff?
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I also like I'm trying to like finagle like a like I'll get a music gig or something so I could go and then just like stay and then do some comedy as well. Like that'd be cool.
Like how do you get that done? Because like for me, like when I was going down to like New York, I had to like go to like a Holiday Inn and stay there.
I guess I still have friends. So
you have friends you can stay
I can stay on their couch,
like,
yeah.
Because everyone else is just like, you know what, like, even just getting a hole in a wall in New York is like $800 a day or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I guess if you stay in Manhattan, but you can get these, like, you could also, like, go with somebody, too, or, like, 3 people and, like, you know, share, like, an Airbnb or something. I think also, like, I actually don't know this, but I think if you rent weekly, it's cheaper than, like,
it is.
Day, right? So if you like plan to go for a week, then with like 2 people or something, it'll probably be cheaper.
I might head back because I'm gonna head back down there next year. That's the reason.
Nice.
So like, I'll see who else would want to go because I need help understanding what the hell to do down there. Because like I did not realize like the subway system's fucked.
Oh, I love the subway system. Where did you stay?
Yeah, it was in Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, okay. That's like pretty. I don't know. It seems fine to me. Maybe it's a little bit out of the way, but it's not that bad.
I was trying to just do Manhattan and all that.
Yeah.
What else? I'm trying to figure out here. Like you've exhausted all my questions, girl. You were rapid fire on this. Most people just like.
I'm efficient.
Yeah, we're very efficient. Let me think here. Yeah, I live.
The dogs.
That's not dogs.
No.
It's them moving the gym equipment.
Oh. Actually, speaking of New York, my apartment I lived in, the people above me were constantly doing this as well. Like, they'd be, like, moving their couch and stuff. Even before the pandemic, when it wasn't, like, you know, you didn't really work out or, like, do anything in your apartment. You, like, went other places. But just constant.
So, like, how long were you, like, you were in New York during the pandemic?
Yeah, I moved back March 2020.
Okay. We moved back here.
To Canada, yeah.
Moved back here March 2020. And like
when there was like 800 people dying a day. It was crazy. And so they were just like throwing bodies into like
the mass graves?
Yeah, it's bad. And, like all Central Park had become a hospital and there was like helicopters flying over, like it was crazy.
That when I saw that mass grave on the news, I was like, what the hell is going on, man? Yeah,
and I was like, I'm just gonna stay. Like, it's not that bad. Because I just didn't want to move back home. And my parents were like, no, you're coming back. Like, they're actually reading the news. I'm just, like, living there, you know.
Like, no, we see all the, like, there's, like, dead people on the streets and everything.
Yeah. It was weird. Because it was, like, the week before, my friend had come visit. And him and I, like, did everything. And you know, went to some comedy shows and stuff like that, and then sort of the last couple of days, that was like when Trudeau was like, all Canadians must come home now, and my friend was like, what? Like, what the hell's happening? And then we kept getting like 2, 3, 70 cases found in New York, like, and it was crazy. And then when he left, all of a sudden the city shut down.
Your friend?
Yeah, my friend, he flew back to Victoria, and then I went up, just normal day, and there was nobody on the street. It was crazy. Within 2 days, no one was there.
That's what happened in Canada too. It's just it was like a dystopian. I hate bringing up the pandemic because it's just it's just a horrible memory for everyone. But it was just you go out to you went to Dundas Square. There was
nobody there. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's just whoa! It's like a bomb went off, and it literally looked like a scene from I Am Legend.
Yeah.
It was just
you watched *Handmaid's Tale*?
I didn't. They shoot some stuff here.
Yeah, they shot it mostly in Toronto. Yeah.
And then they were doing a hanging scene in the middle of City Hall.
Yeah, it's freaky. And there's also so it's set technically in Boston, and when I lived in Boston for a couple years, and there's a scene where they're being hung at Fenway Park, and it's just totally dystopian. There's no one in the stands. It's probably been abandoned because.
What is The Handmaid's Tale about, anyways? I haven't watched it. That's a thing.
it's like I guess dystopian future. There's like some kind of toxic waste disaster, and then so essentially like where like kind of like the New England area has been sort of captured, taken over by these like alt-right people, and then they've made it called Gilead, and so it's like, you know, in the future, and women have become infertile except for a couple, and so like these women are captured and become handmaids, and they have to like serve their leader, and so they're like
it's okay.
Bizarre.
It doesn't make any sense. And like, if they're the only fertile ones, I'd assume you'd want them to be doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, well, sort of. They sort of like, there's like so the rich people get handmaids.
Yeah.
And the handmaids live in these like small rooms off the side of the house or whatever, and like, I feel like they don't really do anything, but they're not treated well. Like they're just sort of forgotten about. But like once a month they have the ritual where like, so because usually the wife is barren, and then the man is like, whoops, this you know, a leader, so a rich leader, and then the handmaids like put in between them, and then they like have sex, but like the handmaid's just like chilling. But it's like, yeah, it's bizarre. It's this horrific situation.
I'm sitting down here going like, like there are large workarounds from this.
But it's like, because it's the alt-right, it's like they've created a new Bible, and like, so yeah, it's like, yeah.
But like, there's still workarounds in this. Like you can just like, have they not heard of freaking like in vitro fertilization?
But that doesn't. I mean, the book was written in the 70s, so
okay, fine.
So it's like it's technically set in like 2020. Yeah, like 2020 or something.
That was in vitro.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
Like, this is what happens when you have someone like me watch this stuff. Like, there are so many. They don't have to be doing this.
But there's not that many women left that are fertile, and then the whole thing is like they escape to Canada, and it's like this really epic journey, and they have to cross the river. And
it's like this. Like, okay, guys, she's exhausted all my questions, so now we're just shooting shit now. Okay, but like, it's like this. I'm like, yes, they're the only fertile ones, but you don't have to have sex to freaking have a child.
But that's not the point. The point is like, because it's like I'm not religious at all, but like it seems like because sex is like this holy thing in Bibles, right? It's like that, like this new state of Gilead is like, it's very far advanced, but it's because we're in the future, but there's no technology. Like everything's back to
it's back
roots.
to
So it's like it's almost like Mormonism or something. Like maybe Mormonism, where it's like very like
very offshoot of like Amish.
Yeah, Amish. That's the one. So it's like very like minimal technology, but you know they have like big like SUV black cars, and they drive around in those. But like, you know, there's like a housekeeper that will make all the food from the garden and stuff like that. But then you have this whole like the ritual is like very old school. Yeah, they would never. No. Yeah, okay, it exists in Canada, but not in Gilead. Like there's no technology.
Okay, and I'm trying. She's just like.
That's the whole point.
I know a lot of like people watch the show and they really like it, and I'm just like sitting down here going like, okay, I kind of get it. So they want the what's it called? How to explain this? They want the luxuries around, but none of the freaking convenience.
Yeah. Like, and then they still have hospitals, I guess. So like when the baby is born, they go to a hospital.
They've had hospitals for like anyways. Not like in general, hospitals have been around for like hundreds of thousands.
Yeah,
of years.
exactly. And there's like, you know, really because it's really important that like babies are still being born, I guess. So they have like a ton of equipment to make sure like if something's wrong, they can like help the mother, I guess. But then like actually, I haven't watched this in a long time, but I feel like I'm surprised they actually get born in the hospital. Maybe it's only when they have complications, because it might be like they get born. I think they might get born in the house. Yeah.
They still, yeah, that's even done still today, anyways.
Yeah. I know friends. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to go to a hospital. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm one of those guys. Well, then suffer in silence. That's the same reason like I have my medical information joke, is just because like everyone comes to me about their, please don't come to me about your medical information.
Yeah.
Please, everyone, please go see a doctor. I can give you a freaking synopsis. I can't give you a solution about your problems. Like, he's like, what does this mean? I'm like, oh, this means this. Just go fucking.
My most recent medical emergency was food poisoning. It was horrific. So I had to go to the pharmacy and get some Imodium.
Imodium? They didn't say to give you Gatorade or anything?
No. It was just like, I was like, got food poisoning, it's horrific. And they're like, okay. And then they gave me Imodium, and I was like, okay, sure. Yeah. It was
okay then.
Like, okay.
Because I'm like, with me, it was just like, okay, I have Imodium. Because I had to get this other drug. It's called ondansetron, but you have to get a prescription for that.
Okay.
It was antiemetic because I was throwing up.
Yeah.
So like, well, okay, this is not a medical podcast. But like everything else, like, yeah. Okay, since we're still like trying to exhaust time for a bit. Actually, we have 5 minutes left, so sweet. Okay, let's plug your stuff. Tell them who you are and tell them where they can find you.
Oh, cool.
Do you have any other shows as well that you got booked for or anything like that?
Do I? No, I don't. Not anymore. So I guess Rae Bakes on Instagram. Might start the streaming again on Twitch. I'm not sure. I just moved to a new place, so I have to figure out the new setup. And then my website, RaeGallimore.com, if you are interested in any online or in-person lessons. And
please specify the lessons, because like the thing is, a lot of people do a lot of things with lessons. Tell them what the lessons are.
Violin and viola lessons, okay.
Get your mind out of the gutters, like, okay, please, people.
My next show is at Comedy Bar at 9:30 on Tuesday. Should be pretty fun. Mark McNally's show, The McNally Show.
Sick.
And I think I'm in Comedy Brawl next week too, which is just a competition.
Where's Comedy Brawl? Is it Absolute? Or is it...
No, it's I think it's Comedy Bar.
Comedy Bar again?
Maybe,
okay.
I don't know. It's next week. It's, next week's problem.
It's next week Ray's problem.
And again, on my Instagram, you can find all the information about my GoFundMe for Viola, the musical web series. So if you're interested in donating, any donation helps. Goes straight to the crew specifically. I'm doing it for free. So I just want to pay other people for their expertise, like camera and audio and editing and licensing and rentals and food. And
there's licensing fees, like
no, just like if we had to or like insurance. So like if we shoot somewhere and we have to.
Because anything breaks, that you can easily replace it and all of those stuff.
Wrong word, yeah. Licensing is the wrong word.
Yeah. Insurance is the correct word.
Insurance, yeah. So that's kind of what I'm up to in the next bit. Is also, fun fact, I'm in a theater production in the next month. It's called Tales of the Grotesque, and it's a new interactive play at the Campbell House Museum downtown. Based off Edgar Allan Poe's literature.
Oh, cool.
So my technical name is funeral musician, but I have some lines in it, so it should be fun.
Funeral musician, so so someone's going to die eventually.
Yeah, it's like a Halloween play.
Oh, okay, so it's like his quote, the Raven Nevermore stuff?
Yeah, like all his kind of crazy, darker stuff. And then Heart of Darkness, have you read that one?
I've heard of it.
There's like a heart in the baseboard that's like thumping, and he's going insane because he killed someone, and yeah.
I think that would drive anyone insane.
Absolutely.
But okay.
But so that's coming up in October. It's a Halloween show, which should be fun.
That's cool. Like, glad you're getting your name out there and you're doing other stuff.
Yeah, I was going to really talk about it, but I'm trying to get into like film and TV as well. But
okay, aren't we all?
No. Yeah.
Aren't we all?
Taking some like hilarious background stuff recently, and like, yeah, just putting additioning and yeah.
And I will plug my stuff. I have a show coming up at the end of September with Javi de Guzman. I forget what the name of that show is called.
At Lola?
Yeah, Lola. At Lola.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's just like, and then I have another show. I'm going to Niagara Falls on September 6th, I believe. And I haven't gotten the show's name yet. I've only know that I was just booked on it. So, and that's on a Wednesday. So hooray for me! I have to go there straight right after work.
And drive back.
And drive back the same night. My family lives down in Niagara, so it's not too bad. So I will do the exact same thing I did last time, just sleep in the house and then drive back up like at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I know. And what else? I'm going to actually start streaming Baldur's Gate probably tomorrow, because I think that is prime comedic material that I can actually stream on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And what else? Tonight I'm going to head to the lab to do some networking, talk to some comedians, just make sure people know I exist.
Nice. And
all this other stuff. And tomorrow, I think much of the same. If not, I might do an open mic tomorrow if I can find one.
Yeah, I feel like there's some Sunday ones that have started again.
Yeah, like I think, what's it called? Ace of Spades underneath the Le Petit Chef.
Yeah.
That's every Sunday now. But we'll see what's what when it happens, if I can do it or whatever. But anything, last words you want to say?
This was really fun.
No
I just like my, I listen to a lot of Armchair Expert. Have you listened to that podcast?
No, but I've been listening to this. I'll play it. Okay, by the way, guys, we're going out for ice cream after, so I'm really jazzed about that, man.
He's like, he can barely even say these last words. He's already thinking about that.
I'm getting cheesecake ice cream. Don't take this away from me.
Oh, that's a good flavor.
Yeah, and I'll show it to the podcast I haven't listened to. It's called Big Brain by Flash Gets. It's a comedy podcast, and they answer the most ridiculous freaking answers, like, how do you always win a debate? That is an easy answer: violence. It's stuff like that. I'm like, I love it. It's just so stupid, but I understand. If there's anything else, I'd say I had a wonderful time talking to you. I'm not saying this because I'm not being I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass or anything like that. I'm like, you are a ray of sunshine, and not a pun. That's not a pun. That actually just landed perfectly. But I love being around you. I love talking to you. You always have a good vibe around you, and I love that.
Oh, thanks, Sean. Yeah, I always like talking. I wish I remembered when we met. That was embarrassing, but it's always good to see you around for sure.
It's usually the guy that forgets how they met.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I know it was this, that, and the third, and the freaking North Star was shining that day. but that's been great, guys. I'll see you guys next week with another guest. I haven't decided who that will be yet because my whole schedule got thrown out of whack. But I will be back next week with another guest, and I will see you then. See ya.
Bye-bye.